Breaking news, how neighbors are reacting after a sheriff's deputy shoots a suspect. Plus, why the Chargers may need public money for a downtown stadium. And the LA nativity scene that people say goes too far.
It's Santa's 2-day super sale at Toys R Us this Friday and Saturday. Huge doorbuster deals late Friday and early Saturday. We've got more of this year's hottest toys. Plus, all-day deals like buy one, get one half off on all video games. Toys R Us, where kids are a big deal.
King Stallman.
It's better to know me.
The king.
And to need me. The king.
And to need me.
The king.
And to know me.
The King!
King Stallman Bell Bonds. Yeah!
The shocking thing isn't that we're the first car company with a full line of 5-star crash safety rated vehicles. The shocking thing is we're the only one. Acura. Test drive any 5-star crash safety rated Acura at the Drive Home Safely for the Holidays event.
Take advantage of attractive lease rates on the 2010 Acura TSX for well-qualified customers.
News 8, presented in HD, is brought to you by Toyota of El Cajon. The pictures, the stories, your world. This is News 8 at 11.
This is unusual because there has never been anything like this happening around here.
Tonight, residents in El Cajon are stunned to hear a gunshot in their quiet neighborhood. A sheriff's deputy opens fire, hitting a suspect.
And good evening. This apparently all went down after the suspect was tailgating the deputy.
And it happened in the 1200 block of Persimmon Avenue. News 8's Richard Allen is live on the scene with what we know right now in this breaking news alert. Richard?
Well, Carlo and Barbara Lee, a very unusual story. That sheriff's deputy was on routine patrol here along Persimmon Avenue shortly after 6:30 this evening when a man in a white car, for some reason, began tailgating him. Now, the deputy pulled off to the right side of the street. The driver of that vehicle then stopped his car and climbed out of the driver's side window.
At that point, he rushed the deputy who was getting out of his patrol car, and an altercation ensued. During that time, the suspect tried to take the deputy's gun, and the suspect was shot.
Now, that suspect, described only as a black male in his 30s, was shot one time in the upper torso. He was taken by ambulance to Sharp Memorial, where he remains in fair condition. Now, deputies say they are still investigating why this suspect was tailgating the deputy to begin with and whether he may have been under the influence of either drugs or alcohol. Deputies at this point could not say whether the suspect himself was armed, but they do say the suspect was the only one who was shot.
The deputy was not shot, and I don't know status of injuries. If the deputy does have injuries, they're minor injuries.
Now, that deputy who fired the shot will now be interrogated, or interviewed rather, by detectives and by command staff. Now, investigators remain on the scene. They're expected to remain on the scene throughout the night.
Some technical problems at the end of that. Thank you, Richard. We're on storm watch with rain possibly falling in San Diego overnight. Santa Maria in Santa Barbara County is already getting drenched this evening. Some streets in the city even flooded from the downpour. The new storm is also expected to stir high surf along our coast. Some surfers at Ocean Beach today were disappointed, though, by the waves. Many out-of-town visitors, they were impressed as they watched the action from the shore, though. A high surf advisory is in effect for the county until tomorrow afternoon.
It could be a wet commute tomorrow morning.
Larry is here now to get you ready with a first look at your hour-by-hour forecast. Larry?
Hey guys, there is some wet weather on the way, as you just saw in that video from just to the north of us. This system rolling into our own backyard. We're on the tail end of the system, so we're not going to get a great deal of rain or a great deal of moisture. Nothing like we saw earlier in the week. But the storm door is open, and these showers are expected to come after midnight tonight. Could be a wet commute tomorrow morning, and then we'll get a little period of dry out between systems, and they're actually actually 3 of them out there. We'll talk more about that in a minute. We'll wake up in the 50s and perhaps with some slick roads out there by 9 o'clock, be 55 along the coast. We'll hover right around 60 at noon, and that's about as high as we will get tomorrow under mostly cloudy skies. The inland valleys, we wake up in the 40s, and then we find ourselves by the time we get into 9 a.m. around 50, and then the highs will be about 60 degrees, both along the coast and inland valleys. We'll break down each one of those systems and tell you how much rain we'll get out of the total, well, between now and the end of the weekend, and when we'll get a chance to dry out. That's coming up with regular weather in just a couple of minutes. Back to you guys.
San Diego police are looking for a man and a woman who robbed the Carmel Valley Market tonight. That's located on Carmel Valley Road. It happened just before 9. The man had a gun and ordered the clerk to get on the ground. He and the woman grabbed cash out of the register there and then took off. They were both wearing dark clothing. Anyone with information is asked to call San Diego police.
A Santa Isabel music teacher accused of molesting 3 girls is free on $250,000 bail tonight. Mark Lewis Kinney pleaded not guilty today to sexually abusing his students and then taking pictures of them during the molestation. News 8's Phil Blauer has more on Kinney's music lessons business in this Crime Fighters Alert.
News of Mark Kinney's arrest has stunned the Ramona music community. If he's convicted on all the charges he's currently facing, he could get up to 36 years in state prison.
It's absolutely impossible to believe. He was such an outstanding musician, role model, citizen.
Mark Kinney's bandmates can't believe their colleague and well-known private music instructor is facing 11 felony counts involving 3 of his underage female students.
You know, the alleged choices, they don't change the fact that he was an amazing musician and he did a lot for the community.
The 47-year-old has pleaded not guilty to the charges, which include lewd acts on a child and production and possession of child pornography. The Santa Isabel man seen here playing accordion at a summer concert in Wainola has been giving private lessons at this Ramona studio. He's also advertised on the internet and taught out of his home.
Wherever you take lessons, be aware, talk to the local community, talk to other students, talk to other teachers. You know, just beware. It's everyone's responsibility, both in the community and personally.
These are just accusations. I wouldn't believe anything until the evidence comes out.
Ramona resident Beth Craig has known Mark Kinney for 3.5 years. She says her 11.5-year-old son has been taking piano lessons from him.
Mark is a Christian man. He's an upstanding citizen. He goes out of his way to help the children.
Craig says if she could speak to Mark Kinney at this moment, this is the message of hope she would give to him.
Mark, let me know if you need anything. We're here for you. We completely believe in you. Let us know what you need, and we're there.
Phil Blauer, News 8.
Kinney is not affiliated with any schools. Sheriff's detectives say he may have other victims. Anyone with information can call the Sheriff's Child Abuse Unit at 858-974-2310, and we will repeat that number for you at the bottom of your screen.
Jury deliberations will continue tomorrow in the trial of a City Heights teacher accused of having sex with 2 former students. Jurors are considering the fate of Adrian Feastel. They deliberated for 2.5 hours today. A judge asked us not to show the face of one of her suspected victims. He testified that Feastel started molesting him at the age of 12 and continued for 2 years. Feastel's lawyer says there is no evidence of wrongdoing and the case is based on gossip. A Torrey Pines High student is going to spend at least 10 months in an East County detention camp for a DUI crash that killed his schoolmate. We're not identifying the boy because he's only 17. At his sentencing today, it was revealed that he had 8 to 9 alcoholic drinks before crashing his car in Rancho Santa Fe in October. Prosecutors say the teen never called 911 and even asked a friend to take the blame for him. Alex Capozza was killed and another teen was injured. The driver's father spoke outside of court.
For the Capozza family, I mean, it's just, I can't even imagine. And I just pray that they would seek God for comfort in this time.
Capozza's father called the boy a habitual drunk driver. To read his entire statement in court, you can go to CBS8.com and then click on the hot button. A house that went up in flames in La Jolla is a total loss. Firefighters on Mount Soledad saw the smoke coming from the 8300 block of La Jolla Shores Drive at 3:30 this afternoon. They say an electrical problem in a bedroom sparked the blaze. Damage is estimated at $750,000, but firefighters were able to save a valuable stamp collection and a china collection as well. The Red Cross is helping a 90-year-old father and his 50-year-old son who live in that house.
Chargers linebacker Sean Merriman has filed a counter lawsuit against ex-girlfriend and reality show personality Tila Tequila. The suit alleges her of, among other things, spreading lies about Merriman in order to ruin his career. Back in September, Merriman was taken into custody on suspicion of hitting Tequila, but no charges were filed because of insufficient evidence. Tequila is suing Merriman for $1.5 million. As the Chargers look to build a new stadium in San Diego, the team now says that it may need public money to build that facility. The Chargers have long insisted they want to finance a new stadium privately. Chargers special counsel Mark Fabiani says public money may be needed to make a downtown stadium a reality. That downtown site is only big enough to house a new stadium and not any related development projects that would help pay for construction.
The California Assembly is set to choose its first ever openly gay speaker.
And I think it speaks to the fact that California is a place that everyone has a seat at the table.
Assembly Democrats today unanimously backed Los Angeles Democrat John Perez to hold one of the most powerful positions in state government. The full Assembly is expected to approve the nomination. Perez was elected to the Assembly last year and will take over for Karen Bass, selected herself in February of 2008. You could help a wounded military service member make it home for the holidays by taking part in a radiothon tomorrow. The Rick Roberts Show on 760 KFMB Radio is hosting the drive from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join News 8 tomorrow, and we'll have a number to call, or you can go online now to the Rick Roberts website and make a donation to the Warrior Foundation. That website is 760kfmb.com. It's beginning to look a lot like the holiday season in the gas lamp quarter thanks to thousands of LED lights. Take a look at this beautiful site. The Gas Lamp Quarter Association has put LED lighting strands on just about every tree in the neighborhood. They say it's their way of giving back to everyone who visits the gas lamp and to also spread some holiday cheer.
A risque nativity scene in a Los Angeles clothing store window has some locals offended.
The way they have presented Mary, you know, in a very provocative position with a baby stuck in her crotch, and the baby is supposed to be Christ. No.
The Madison clothing store window features a nativity scene made out of mannequins dressed in the company's clothing. Some people don't mind the display, but others who've seen it say it's very offensive and they demand it be changed. The clothing company has declined to comment on the display and has not changed it.
A new twist in the Erin Andrews stalking case.
And lasagna, jambalaya, and yes, brownies, the Ganja Gourmet restaurant for medical marijuana patients. Plus, a wheelchair-bound inmate is caught on tape walking around days before his daring escape. But coming up next, witness reaction to a shocking gunfight in Times Square. You're watching News 8 at 11.
News 8 is brought to you in part by Vons.
At Vons, we make the joy of the season deliciously affordable.
With a commitment to thousands of new everyday low prices.
And with Vons Club specials like boneless beef cross rib roast, $1.97 a pound, you can get all the holiday oohs and ahs you want, when you want them, at the price you need.
That's our promise.
That's ingredients for life. Vons.
This is it. More Furniture for Less's best deal ever. First, you get this complete bedroom with the bed, these 2 nightstands, this dresser and mirror, plus this flat screen TV console. And this is big. More is throwing in this 32-inch high-definition TV. That's right, a 32-inch Toshiba LCD HD flat screen TV to entertain you. 7 pieces, nothing else to buy, $1,999. Yes, $1,999 for all that, including the TV. And there are other amazing super packages too, so hurry to more Furniture for Less.
I've had asthma for 12 years.
6 years.
I've had asthma forever.
I never knew why my asthma symptoms kept coming back.
Or
that I could help prevent them in the first place.
The problem was that my controller medicine
was treating only one main cause of asthma symptoms.
But there are 2, airway constriction and inflammation.
Unlike most controllers, Advair treats both main causes.
Advair treats both main causes.
and that helps prevent symptoms in the first place.
Advair contains salmeterol. Salmeterol may increase the chance of asthma-related death, so Advair is not for asthma that's well controlled on another controller medicine. Advair will not replace fast-acting inhalers for sudden symptoms and should not be taken more than twice a day. Talk to your doctor about the risks and benefits of Advair. If you take Advair, see your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse.
If it's still having symptoms,
Ask your doctor how to help prevent them with Advair.
Get your first prescription free and save on refills.
Advair. Now you know.
My doctor told me I had to start doing things for my heart, but I wasn't ready to give up taste. Sometimes sacrifice is the name of the game.
Well, I've heard eating whole grain oats can help lower my cholesterol. It's going to be a challenge.
Sure, we want to lower our cholesterol, but let's be real. Being healthy is tough.
Yeah. Honey Nut Cheerio cereal tastes great and can help lower cholesterol.
Be happy, be healthy.
Try Apple Cinnamon Cheerios. Baked in apple with a daring amount of cinnamon.
Tonight, Kate Hudson is Alex Rodriguez's good luck charm. And to think the Yankees during the offseason almost traded her for Scarlett Johansson.
Dave's Only with Kate Hudson tonight.
Complete coverage of your neighborhood, the nation. Barbara Lee Edwards, Carlo Cicchetto, meteorologist Matt Belo, and sports with Kyle Praska. This is News 8 at 11.
We have a breaking news alert out of Chula Vista where police confirm a woman has been stabbed to death with a hunting knife. It happened in the 1300 block of Santa Alicia Avenue near East Palomar Street. We have a crew there now. Police are looking for Jesus Garcia in connection with this murder. He is believed to be driving a 2007 gray Ford Ranger pickup with a license plate of 8T23673. He is believed to be armed, so if you know his whereabouts, please call Chula Vista Police. A witness describes what she saw when New York City police shot a man in Times Square today.
As my husband was opening up the trunk, we heard bang, 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 turned around, and I saw this gentleman who was not in a uniform shooting another man.
He died a short time later. Police say an officer tried to stop the 25-year-old because he had an open arrest warrant for assault in the Bronx, but that he took off running and opened fire, shooting out several windows. Police say considering how many shots were fired and how many people were around, it is amazing that no one else was hit. The man accused of secretly making nude videos of an ESPN reporter will plead guilty to stalking her. Chicago insurance executive Michael Barrett faces up to 5 years in federal prison and a $250,000 fine. Barrett's suspected of renting hotel rooms next to ESPN's Aaron Andrews, altering the people's, and then shooting video of Andrews in at least 2 different locations. He's also accused of trying to sell those videos to a gossip website.
Tonight, we're getting our first look at surveillance video of a supposed wheelchair-bound escapee in Texas walking around his prison cell. The video of Arcade Como was taken just last week before he was transferred to another facility. It shows him getting out of the chair without any help. Como escaped custody after pulling a gun on prison guards and left the wheelchair behind. The convicted sex offender was captured on Monday. A prison guard has since been fired for not searching Como. Well, the same storm that dumped heavy rain here in San Diego brought plenty of snow to northern Arizona, so much so that dozens of hunters got stranded out in the wilderness. Fortunately, all of the nearly 50 hunters who were reportedly stuck out in the snow have been rescued or accounted for tonight. One of those stranded says that even with the proper gear, it was a long night.
Last night we were, 12 or 13 below last night outside and about 25 inside our tent with a propane heater going like crazy.
The stranded hunters were cold and hungry when they were rescued, but thankfully no one was seriously hurt. It's a restaurant unlike any other. In Denver, a new business is serving up all kinds of food with one common ingredient, marijuana. The Ganja Gourmet features entrees and desserts, all made with pot. Not anyone can eat there, though. Only patients with medical marijuana cards are allowed inside. Last year, Colorado voted to legalize medical marijuana. Well, Santa Claus got a warm welcome in Lithuania, and it was all made of solid ice. Experts from Finland and Latvia worked for 6 days to create this 4-meter-high palace out of 200 blocks of ice. Since the daytime temps were often above freezing, they had to do most of the sculpting at night. Inside the palace is an ice bar where visitors can buy sodas. And the visitors say that the frosty structure and the arrival of Santa has put them in the Christmas spirit.
Local businessmen are learning about opportunities in China. The local chapter of the Hong Kong Association of Southern California held its holiday banquet this evening. Our very own Marcella Lee hosted the event. People learned about new U.S., China, and Hong Kong trade opportunities through the U.S. Department of Commerce.
Now, your exclusive microclimate weather. Here's Larry Himmel.
You were out in Balboa Park earlier. It's a clear night out there, but we're still dealing with these cold temperatures.
Yeah, very chilly overnight, and obviously, as we always say, the storm door is open, so what's out there is going to head our way. And I don't want to push the alarm button because it's going to be nothing like we saw on Monday when that thing rumbled through here and still making its presence felt across the country. But we do see some rain in our immediate future. Like, look downtown, as Barbara Lee said, all is calm and bright, 54 degrees, the wind's calm, the humidity 69%, the barometer at 30.08 and holding steady. Here's some of our look at our current temperatures. We're at 63 degrees in Santee, and today's highs in the mountains were only 50 and 49 respectively in Palomar and Julian. Borrego got up to 60 today, but out along the coast, upper 50s, maybe something peaking over 60 in Oceanside, 63 in Vista, 62 in Mira Mesa, and not much of a spread across the map from the inland valleys to the coast. And that's pretty much what you see there is what you're going to get for the next day or two, only with a few more clouds and some wet stuff mixed in. Here is Buffalo, New York. Oh, just a whiteout. Dreaming of a white Christmas, but not this. They got up to 16 inches of snow, and it was no going anywhere on the highways and byways there. And they're going to be digging out for a while. Across the nation, it is just frigid over the northern, almost 2/3 of this map. Look at your temperatures. -6, -1, all throughout the Midwest, -13 up along the Canadian border, and not much difference all the way from the northwest to the northeast. 20s is the highest you can find there, and even temperatures dipping into just above freezing in the midsection of Texas. Out our way, we expect to see some wet weather for the next couple of days. There's actually 3 systems out there. The first one will make its presence felt by the time overnight tonight. We could have a wet commute tomorrow. Won't get much rain. It'll be showery on again, off again. Then we get a break, and it looks like Friday night the next one rolls in, and then Saturday night the one after that rolls in. Of the 3 systems, the one we get Friday into Saturday at this point, at this venture, looks to be the heaviest. Heavy surf out there. It is dangerous too with the rips. 60 degrees the water temperature out of the northwest, 5 to 7 feet. But really beware, know what you're doing, and if you know what you're doing with the pollution and everything, you'll probably stay out of there altogether. Your high tide, though, just if you're keeping score at home, will be 6:14 p.m. Your low tide at 12:12 p.m. And here's what we're looking at. Overnight tonight, dipping into the 40s and 50s all the way across the map with the clouds and the wet weather expected before daybreak tomorrow. Then by noontime, we're going to get into the upper 50s, 60s. The showers will move on through, and we'll get a little dry out before the next system. And we'll break it down for you over the next couple of days. A few.
Sounds good.
All right, see you then.
Thanks, Larry. The Chargers are heading to Big D and getting ready to take on the Cowboys' big lines. Kyle's up next with the details.
And the defending Super Bowl champions continue to struggle. Kyle has highlights from their game